Hi there and welcome, the review fella here. So the LG C1 was very impressive, the LG C2 is now here and it's looking as handsome, if not better. But what does the new dog in town give us for our money, and is it worth buying? I'm going to tell you why you may not want to buy this TV also, so make sure you stick around until the end for the full picture. Let's get right into it. The C2 is very similar to last year's C1. The 48-inch shares the same design and the same long stand. From 55 inches and above, the C2 has some design changes, like a smaller stand, and overall, the new model is significantly lighter. The 55-inch C2 weighs just 14.4 kilograms. That's over 8 kilograms lighter than last year's 55-inch C1. All the usual screen sizes are available, but now a new 42-inch has been added. This has a twin feet design with room underneath for cables. And it's aimed at those requiring a smaller but quality OLED TV or monitor. I can see how this would appeal to gamers. All models have the same spec and the brighter Evo panel, which is supposed to give a brightness boost of around 10 to 20%. But it's worth noting here that the 42 and 48-inch model will not be as bright as the 55-inch and above. According to LG, the pixel density of the 42 and 48-inch TVs doesn't allow for the boost in peak brightness enjoyed by the rest of the size range. So just keep that in mind if brightness is important to you. But saying that, my 48-inch C2 looks bright and vibrant, and I'm very pleased with it. Pricing is still quite high because the C2 is the latest model and commands a premium. At the time of this video, the prices were as follows. But expect a dip in price during the summer, with the biggest drops coming around Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and into the early part of 2023. You get 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, which will keep any gamer happy. You'll also get 48 gigabits per second bandwidth compared to 40 gigabits per second on last year's model, plus 3 USB ports, and all the usual connections and ports you'd expect to find. And as always, you have the VESA mount if you wish to wall mount this TV. Cable management on this size is the same as last year, and it's adequate to keep those cables central and tidy. Don't expect to get a soundbar in front of the 48-inch though, it still sits very low, and the larger models won't give you much more room either. I do wish LG would raise their TVs somewhat higher. The remote control is near enough the same as last year and now has a button with Alexa printed on it. This supplied IR blaster will blast the infrared signal from your remote to another device. It's not something I'd ever use myself, but you might find it handy to control other devices and to overcome obstacles and line of sight issues. The quality of the picture is quite stunning, as you'd expect from LG's C range of TVs. You'll get a bright and punchy picture with the deepest of blacks, superb colour and contrast, and also less black crushing than before. I love the C1 and I'm loving the C2 also, and I often find myself staring at the image and just enjoying the experience. When this TV is set right, it really does display a stunning image. Motion handling seems good too. It's as good as my C1, if not better. I think LG is moving in the right direction here, and it's good to see. WebOS 22 is an upgrade and zips along nicely. It feels familiar and is not hugely different from last year. You can also set up multiple LG profiles if you wish. Now I do this for Netflix and Amazon Prime, but I'm not sure why you'd want to do it for your LG account. But it's there just in case it's useful to you. You have family settings to limit screen time for the kids perhaps, or to discourage yourself from sitting in front of the TV all night long, only to find yourself waking up at 3 AM in the armchair with a lap full of cold Earl Grey tea. Come on now, we've all done it. You now have hands-free voice control, where saying "Hi LG," then speaking naturally, will allow you to get information or control various other smart devices. Side-by-side and picture-in-picture modes could be quite useful. I can see myself gaming while having the sport playing in a smaller window perhaps. It wasn't working too well when I tried it. I'm guessing this will be enhanced in future firmware updates. You can access this function from a couple of places, including the new game Optimiser. This will look very familiar if you had the C1, and when turned on will add some presets and quick access features to your gaming experience. I quite like it, although the default AI Sound Pro doesn't work so well for me, so I turn this off. You'll also get a new sport mode, although I found standard is more accurate and authentic. So why wouldn't you want to buy this TV? Well, let's look at a few downsides. Of course, the first is the price. At the time of this video, the C2 commands a premium. As the year goes on and we see Black Friday and beyond, it'll become more affordable. The 2021 C1 model is a heck of a lot cheaper, and I doubt you'd notice much difference, if any, from a viewing experience. Secondly, OLED TVs are of course not as bright as other TVs, such as the Samsung QLEDs for example. You're going to struggle to get a bright image in a sun-filled room, particularly with HDR content. Look at how dark it is in my conservatory. However, this is an extreme example. It's like trying to watch TV outside, as this room also has an all-glass roof. All brightness levels here are pushed up in SDR mode, but it still can't reach a peak brightness to overcome this very bright environment. However, if most of your viewing is in a room which isn't flooded by natural sunlight or is done after dark, then you'll marvel at the vibrant, colourful and contrasty image that only a quality OLED can give you. Yes, you might be able to burn your retinas out with a super bright Samsung QLED shining like the surface of the sun, but only an OLED can give you that rich contrasty image and deep blacks. LG OLED owners will know exactly what I'm talking about. Lastly, onto reflections. Your LG C2 is likely more reflective than some other brands. You'll not want this TV facing a bright window, and don't be surprised if you're sometimes seeing the room and objects within it reflected. But those points aside, the LG C2 is a super TV, it really is. The Evo panel and new processor will make movie or gaming nights a rich and immersive experience. Just don't expect the 42 or 48 inch to have the same brightness boost as the 55 inch and above. You could save a ton of money and buy the C1, and you'd hardly notice any difference. I have the C1 and still love it. But if it's within your budget, the C2 is a worthy successor, with a few enhancements and a new chipset that delivers a bit more bang for your buck. You'll find a link to this TV and my other gear in the description of this video should that interest you. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if this was useful to you. There's a lot more LG OLED and TV content in general on the way. Please take care, and I very much hope to see you soon.